Shielding up the Sludge Bomb, Abomasnow leaves absolutely loaded. The opponent sends out Meganium. My gosh, they must be weak to Abomasnow. First Weather Ball draws the final Protect Shield. Abomasnow fires off Weather Ball. Number 2 Meganium now deep in the red. Abomasnow fires off the third Weather Ball. What is that final Pokemon? And my gosh, it's Swampert. Abomasnow about to go on a rampant sweep, 1 versus 3. So, welcome back to the channel. The intro might be a little teaser for the absolute massacre and carnage you're about to see. Huge shout out to fellow content creator and highly skilled battler Zerafelrose. He's put together this insane triple shadow team and he goes on an absolute tear up. That is no exaggeration. He sent me 2 sets of battles and they last just over 10 minutes, so you are in for a treat. A little bit about Zerafelrose. He's got his own YouTube, link down below. If you want to get some gameplay, like Zerafelrose, he also offers coaching, which you can find on Metafy. I'm also going to link that down below. So without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we pick up a neutral lead. The Angry Snowman into the pesky Spider. The opponent can hit us a huge super effective damage with the lunge. The opponent shielded the first Weather Ball. The super spammy Abomasnow already at the second Weather Ball. This gets Galvantula super low. The opponent pivots out, banking a lunge, and Zerafelrose answers this Toxapex save switch with his Ampharos. Ampharos generating energy super quickly at 4. EPT fires off the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch gets Toxapex into the yellow. The opponent farms up to the Sludge Wave and they full send it. Zerafelrose allows Ampharos to go down. He now comes in with Zapdos. He can overfarm by 2 and that's the exact play he does. Beautiful energy management from a highly skilled battler. We fire off the Drill Peck on a CMP tie to the Brine. The opponent's final Pokemon is Wish Daddy Cash. The opponent doesn't even build up to the Blizzard. An easy no shield for Zerafelrose. We tank the Mud Bomb, overfarm, fire off the first Drill Peck. Wish Daddy Cash super thick. However, as Zapdos hits like an absolute truck, this second Drill Peck will be forcing the final shield. We now pivot out into Abomasnow. The opponent sends out Galvantula. However, they might have a move. We can safely shield this up. Abomasnow gonna Powder Snow farm down on Wish Daddy Cash. Is about to be snowman food as this energy ball is going to be enough to take that game. Very nicely done and fantastic energy management. And we're off to the 1-0 start. Moving on to battle number 2, we see Abomasnow into Victory Bell. The opponent stays in. This must be signs they're weak to ice in the back. Zerafelrose fires off the Weather Ball. The opponent choosing to shield it up. The opponent fires off a move. Last second, Zerafelrose can shield this up. The Powder Snow will register and down goes Victory Bell. The opponent now sends out a Meganium into a loaded Shadow Abomasnow. The opponent in absolute shambles. They desperately shield up the Weather Ball, but Abomasnow says there's plenty more of where that came from. The second Weather Ball gets Meganium deep in the red. Zerafelrose going to knock it out with Weather Ball number 3. And oh hi Swampert. Shadow Abomasnow about to go on an absolute sweep. Energy Ball, double super effective, probably enough to take out Swampert and its entire family. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, another great lead. The opponent pivots into Pelipper, aka the Flying Toilet, and they say, fuck this, I'm out of here. A very quick game. Moving on to the next battle, we see another Shiftry in the lead. However, this opponent save switches into an Ampharos. We don't have the best response, so Zera chips it with a Weather Ball and then sends out his own Ampharos to enter the mirror. The opponent fires off the Brutal Swing, which lands for heavy neutral damage. Zerafelrose then gambles on the CMP tie, and the gamble pays off. We win. Charge move priority, taking care of the opposing Ampharos. However, the opponent can come in with Shiftry and get ahead on energy. Shiftry does resist the entire moveset from Ampharos. However, they realise they don't want to tank the second charge move, so the opponent firing off on the CMP tie. Great play from the opponent. Zerafelrose now sends out Abomasnow. He's going to shield once commit to the full Powder Snow farm down. The opponent sends out Zapdos and Zapdos is going to have a very rough time of it. Weather Ball draws the first Protect Shield. Zera then attempts to catch a Drill Peck on his Zapdos. He's unsuccessful. The opponent gonna need to Thunderbolt to take us out. The opponent does go for the Thunderbolt. However, Zerafelrose can now come in, shield once, commit to the Powder Snow farm down. It's going to be a fast move beat down to the finish. Another very nice dub. My gosh, Shadow Abomasnow out here looking like an absolute monster. Speaking of Shadow Abomasnow, we lead it into Galvantula. We do outpace this pesky spider as it only takes us 5, then 4 to reach the weather ball. The opponent doesn't shield the first move, which does allow Zera Felrose to commit 1 protect shield, and he is going to be able to powder snow him all the way down. The opponent lets us get the farm down. They then send out Ninetales. We pivot into Ampharos and his Cradily in the back. So another team that is ABA weak to Abomasnow. Holy smokes, people showing no respect to this Angry Snowman, and the Angry Snowman absolutely feasting. Zera Felrose fires off the Brutal Swing, drawing a shield from Cradily. Zera has no intentions of shielding up Ampharos. Grass Knot doesn't take us out, which is actually worse. The opponent then gets the Bullet Seed farm down. However, we send back out Abomasnow with residual energy. Weather Ball draws the final Protect Shield. The opponent didn't realise how much energy Abomasnow had, and we knock him out with the Weather Ball. Zera then super quick, switching out into Zapdos, not allowing Ninetales any farm. We can safely shield up the Weather Ball. Zera Felrose reach in for the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt, a pretty average move, 1.63. DP, however, more than enough to secure the knockout. Another very good game. Moving on to the next battle, absolute nightmare lead. Tentacruel into Abomasnow. We see an instant pivot into Ampharos as if the lead wasn't bad. The safe switch is just as bad. Shiftry gonna wall the entire moveset of our Ampharos. However, Shiftry, being a glass cannon not known for its bulk, they don't want to take the second Thunder Punch, so they fire off the Leaf Blade. Zera Felrose hangs on 1 HP and a Dream. Somehow Ampharos forces a shield in a really unfavourable matchup, which gives Zera Felrose a lifeline. The opponent baits us with a Leaf Blade, a really strange player. Zera, very unlikely to shield. Knowing the opponent's got Tentacruel, the opponent then sends back out that Tentacruel I was speaking of, and we go straight for the Energy Ball. Energy Ball does go unshielded. We now pivot out into Zapdos. Hopefully the opponent isn't on Acid Spray. However, they are a sprayer. This is dreadful for Zapdos. Zera Felrose looking for the aggressive Thundershock farm down. The opponent fires off 1 more Acid Spray, lowering our defense. The opponent sends out Trevenant. 2-stage debuff. Can we survive the Shadow Claw? We cannot, and unfortunately that is going to be all she wrote. Zera almost pulling off an incredible comeback victory. However, we fall just short. Moving on to the next one. We see the battle of the grass types. Abomasnow pretty dominant against Trevenant. Zera showing his IQ, firing 6 Powder Snows, and the Weather Ball. That's 1 fast move before Trevenant gets to the Shadow Ball. You want to fire off 1 before, as Abomasnow does lose CMP. The opponent YOLO'd the Shadow Ball. It's a really safe shield in that matchup, as even if the opponent went for a Seed Bomb bait, we'd still outpace to the next Weather Ball. They then pivoted out into Toxapex. Zera lands the Thunder Punch. He then commits his final shield. I'm a big fan of this shield because when Trevenant does return, it isn't going to appreciate Ampharos's dark type coverage. With the Brutal Swing, the opponent does send back out Trevenant. Do they respect the Brutal Swing coverage? They do not. They're saving 1 shield for an Abomasnow that they've got lurking in the back. However, Abomasnow isn't going to appreciate this Ampharos. The first Brutal Swing goes unshielded. The opponent looking for the Powder Snow farm down. Ampharos makes 1 final Brutal Swing. This forces the final Protect Shield. Shout out Oxford U, as Zera serving up that wham bam combo play. The Big Mac was served by Ampharos. The fries were served by Abomasnow, and Shadow Abomasnow says, "Get out of here, regular Abomasnow," and that was all she wrote. Moving on to the next battle. Normal service has resumed. Shadow Abomasnow out here core breaking teams. The opponent led Shadow Swampert into Abomasnow. They then pivoted out into Tropius, which takes double super effective from Ice. Zera gaining shield advantage, then pivots out into Zapdos. Zapdos does resist all moves from Tropius. Zera gets rid of them with a Drill Peck. We've got residual energy, good to go back out. Comes Swampert. Swampert not going to appreciate these Drill Pecks. The first Drill Peck gets them into the yellow. Zera then allowed to get to Drill Peck number 2. The opponent now in absolute shambles. They commit their final Protect Shield. Finally, they are going to fire a charge move. Zera with no intentions of shielding up Zapdos. We've still got 2 shields. The opponent pivots out into Lantern. We could have seen yet another Abomasnow sweep. However, Zera chooses to let Ampharos have some fun. The opponent fires off the serve. Zera obviously with no intentions of shielding up this Ampharos. This game is absolutely over. I think the opponent is praying to the mighty Jesus Christ or the Lord Almighty God. hoping that Zera has a heart attack. However, no heart attack does happen. We've still got 2 shields. The opponent still playing it out. Zera choosing to go for the 2 shield flex. Hydro Cannon takes us out, back out, comes a Abomasnow, and finally, this drawn out game is over with a very impressive 2 shield flex. Moving on to the next battle, dreadful lead. We take double super effective from Fire Sweezy pivot into Ampharos, the opponent looking to stay in its shadow on Shadow Crime, so Zera is going to shield up the Weather Ball. He's then going to fire off 2 Volt Switches for the correct fast move timing. That's 8 turns versus 9. Thunder Punch draws a shield from Ninetales. We've got the second locked and loaded. Is the opponent willing to double shield? Yes, they are. The opponent then commits to the Fire Spin farm down. Zera now forced to show his third. The opponent pivots out into an unshielded Jellyfish. Holy smokes, this is going to be huge trouble. The opponent still running Bubble Beam. Hello, Mr. Opponent, did you hear about the Surf update? However, Bubble Beam not going to save you from the wrath of Zapdos. They still get 1 shot. Back out comes Ninetales. Drill Peck is debuffed, but more than enough to take care of the low health Ninetales. The opponent's final Pokemon is Walrus, and the opponent concedes the match. Moving on to the next battle, we see Graveler in the lead. If they're on Volt Switch, this will be a pretty good matchup. The opponent is on Volt Switch, so Zera very happy to see this Graveler in the lead. We commit a shield on a potential Stone Edge, and the opponent is a great master baiter. They bait us with the Rock Blast. We return the bait with a Weather Ball, and holy smokes, the opponent calls the bait. Zera in a tricky spot. We tank the Rock Blast. The opponent attempts to snipe with Toxapex, however, really quick switch, keeping his Abomasnow alive with residual energy. We send out Ampharos to meet this Toxapex. Ampharos draws the Protect Shield of Toxapex. Zera gonna shield up the Brine. We can then overfarm almost to the back-to-back Thunder Punches. It looks like a CMP tie to the next Brine. Thunder Punch, dodge draw a Protect Shield, and it was CMP. Great play from Zera. Brine takes us out, but now it's time for Shadow Zapdos to do Shadow Zapdos things. We come in, fire off the Drill Peck before taking the next Brine. Drill Peck going to be enough to take care of Toxapex. The opponent's final Pokemon is Pelipper. We need to be mindful of a catch. The opponent goes for the catch. Zera anticipating it, pivots out into a Abomasnow. Weather Ball gonna land for decent damage. Pelipper gonna lose CMP, and an absolute beautiful end game from Zera. Like I said, if you want some coach on how to be an absolute Donny in the PvP world, go check out Zera Felrose. His channel and his coaching service on Metafy linked down below. You can see Zera gets a nice impressive 2,291 for a starting elo. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing if you'd like your battles featured on the channel like Zera Felrose had. A link to my battle submission form is down below. I'd just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.